Right, so this is going to be a difficult conversation, but I think it needs to be had when it comes to the bar scene in Thailand, right? So, like the red light district and whatnot. Let's talk Pattaya, let's talk whatever, right? A couple things need to relatively be addressed, all the way to freelancers or whatever the case may be. Number one, yeah, the term, some of them use the term like go with you, right? So they'll say, oh yeah, you can pay me some money and then I'll go with you, right? But there's a few problems with this term from my perspective. Firstly, right, if people don't specify, because I know that people think that it's assumed that if somebody's orders you to a hotel, particularly in this country, it's a sex, but it's not always the case. So I feel like it needs to really be addressed as to a full specification, because otherwise the situation is going to end up as a rape, right? Because the thing is, if she gets the call, right, accusations got thrown around, all she has to say is that she was scared, right? And if she says that she was scared, then that means that ultimately impaired her decision, right? And if she says that, that's it, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for the dude. So people need to stop using the term "go with you," right? Um, and say "go with you for sex," right? That's a more appropriate term. Or even "boom boom," say "go with you for boom boom," or that's one. Number two, the people like lady drinks don't have to be alcohol. Can we normalize it? Just like not being alcohol. It can be alcohol if the lady chooses to be so, but it can be orange juice, it can be pineapple juice, it can even be a smoothie for God's sake, right? But it can even be water at the same price, and there even the lady makes even more money if she drinks water, right? So can we normalize it not having to be alcohol? Because the point of the lady is for me to just hang out with the lady and decide if I like her vibe and if I want to go off on her. Right? That's the point of the lady. So there's no point for it to be alcohol unless the lady distinctively wants alcohol. Right? That's the first and foremost thing. So it can be water, it doesn't have to be alcohol. Right? That's that's one. And then another one is like how drunk a lady is, right? Because again, at the same time, that's it. That's grounds for allegations of rape right there. Even if it's a hoe, right? Like it doesn't really make that much of a difference. Oh, my headphones are out. Yeah, it doesn't really make that much of a difference, right? Um, like she's gonna engage in the sexual act irrespective of her being drunk or not, right? Because if she's there and she's selling services of that nature, she's there selling services of that nature. So her being drunk doesn't actually help the situation in any way, shape, or form. So she doesn't need to be drunk, because then it's like her decision is impaired, and that's grounds again for rape in the court of law, right? Maybe not in the Thai court of law, but maybe in the Thai court of law. Who knows? Well, I don't know how the law works. They might pull out documents from the UK or from or whatever the case may be. So please, can we can we can we can we check the alcohol levels, right? Because that's definitely like a major problem, because everybody has to be safe, and we want everyone to ultimately engage in this in a safe manner that doesn't really impact or hinder their life in the future. And also we want the lady to be fully in the know as to what she's doing. Because the other night, like I was at a bar and I met this girl, whatever, right? Even though she wasn't a part of the bar, just freelancing, whatever. And she was hot, man. I wanted to fuck her, but she was too woozy. And so even though she was like consenting, I still felt like, because they say consent can be revoked after the act. So when a person becomes sober, they can revoke the consent, which is kind of fucked up, but it's the law. So, and I understand that it's protecting the less vulnerable, even though there's a whole equality thing. But yeah, so even though I wanted to, I didn't. And we even made strides. I even thought about it, because like she was there for a bit, and like even though sometimes you felt like I kept looking, I was like, I tried to convince myself, like, yeah, maybe she is sober enough now. But then at the same time, I was like, no. And even though she was like, yes, I was still like a bit like, nah, this might not look good um, in the long run. And it's weird actually to be taken to court because, you're the park or whatever. But even though she was drunk, I think that I even started contemplating myself. I was like, if I let her give me head, technically, can that still be considered rape because it's head and she's in full control of what she's doing? Um, but again, she can always say that she was scared or whatever, some bullshit like that, or like she wasn't fully aware of what actions was. And this is not like some young girl. This is like I think she's like 25, something, 26 or whatever, 27 or whatever. So that's pretty much it, Even though she like even though she was like fumbling after it, well, and I was getting bricked up, man. I was like fully bricked. Like there's a certain level of hardness you can get while you still have your clothes on, right? But I was like, whatever that hardness was, I was at that limit, bro. Peeps, like that's where I was at, and I was ready. If I didn't have any level of self control, thanks to um, that guy, Master, the guy from Chiang Mai who does the sacred sexuality stuff. If I didn't have a level of control due to that particular training, I would have engaged in that act. Because I actually wanted to. I felt like she would have been a good pipe. I would have enjoyed that so much if she just wasn't so drunk. So that's one thing, and also you gotta understand that like when we're in those situations and girls do those type of stuff, it puts us in a difficult situation. Like I don't know how another normal human being might have felt. He might have went along with it, and maybe it might have been okay. But at the same time, maybe it might not have been okay in the long run. That could have been counted down as a rape, even though the chick might be a hoe, whatever. And another thing is, well, like for me personally, like if I go, the reason I find value in Pattaya is that, like, the chicks want to party, right? They're there to party, they're there to have a good time. Like I was speaking to another girl and she was telling me like, oh yeah, she doesn't actually like enjoy sex when she goes with a customer, and for me that's a violation, bro. Like at least wanna fuck. So for me, if I'm gonna bar find someone, I'm looking for a slut. I'm looking for a hoe, right? I'm looking for a hoe that just loves dick, right? She don't care about the size. She just loves dick. She just loves engaging in sexual activity with men, right? That's the type of whole slut I'm looking for when I bar find a chick, right? Because I'm not looking for somebody who is there just for the money, because that sex is degrading, man. That's degrading ass sex. So if you're gonna take a chick from a bar and she's not happy to engage in sexual activity, like to the point that she's just there for money, but she wants to feed the kids or whatever, that to me, I feel like I don't wanna fuck. If she's actually there because she's excited, because she wants to get some dick, she loves dick, that's good. That's like, yeah, that's a vibe, right? And that's what we ultimately want as men. We don't want, like, well, personally, I don't want, because then I feel like I'm taking my position as a man and my position of having some currency in my pocket to have advantage over this individual who should be helped in other ways. Like they don't want to do it like that. But I think that in Pattaya, when you go there, you find proper sluts, like real sluts. Like they like dick, but they'll rather make money while getting dick. And to me, I'm comfortable with that. Because if it's just for one night and it's nothing majorly emotional, then that's more appropriate for me. When it comes to the money, like a woman is trying to feed her kids or whatever, I would prefer meeting them on something like Tinder and having like a pretend date thing, right? Where we are in a relationship, friends with benefits, and I can extend help because I have the money in my pocket because I didn't pay the bar girl, right? So I just give it to her instead to help her with the kids and the things that she's trying to do, rather and that she actually likes me, right? But I also help her along the way because she's like a friend with benefits, so she's an actual friend, someone that I relatively care for, and in that way, it's more emotionally and spiritually and sexually, energetically regulated than a woman who pays for and so on and so on. But in modern day, chicks in Pattaya are different. So we have to reevaluate that. And I would say more, but I've only got 10 minutes or so. But actually, no, maybe I've got a couple more minutes. Let's see. Um, the bar owners have, the people who pay the bar fine too, they are ultimately responsible for what is considered drunk or not, whether it's safe for the girl to go with the guy. It's their responsibility, and that should be shifted from us as customers. It's their job for them to protect us, right? Be it now or in the future. So it's their job to protect us. So if we're gonna bar fine a girl, they have to be sure that the girl is sober enough for them to, like, they have to do a pre-checklist or whatever it is, yeah, to make sure that they can authorize the release of that girl to go with the customer. So I would like for them to take more responsibility over that. And these were the thoughts that I was having as this chick was sitting there fumbling my balls and all sorts, and we're just talking or whatever. But yeah, these are the thoughts that I was having. I was like, how can I engage like in a safe way with this lady? And I'm like, okay, well, at the end of the day, and for example, like, should I buy another drink? I was like, is that the discretion of the bar owner if I should, or if you should have one? Like, if you wanted one, I'll give it. It was like $150 for a lady drink, which wasn't too bad. It was alright. And it was like about £5, which is still quite a bit, but I was just trying to have something that's a good night. I just wish she wasn't that drunk, because I actually met and I actually liked that. Like, she was someone I would actually paid, but that's that. So yeah, to the discretion of the bar owners, they have to protect us, and they have to do pre-checklists to make sure that the girl is safe enough, sober enough to consent, and capable enough, because in the court of law, irrespective, she's a whole, like, it's quite difficult to then protect yourself. For example, she might even be from here, but the charges are brought against you in your home country about something that you did abroad. I don't know if that works, but I think that could work. So it's just little things like that. So feel kind of sick, bro. Like, man, drank. And that night, I think I drank like bare 100 pipers and a couple cocktails, and I still feel relatively shy. Stomach wise. I think I just gotta take a shit, if I'm honest, or piss. Cause I think some of that whiskey, it stays in the body as actual, like, poison fluid or whatever. It just needs to be removed. Yeah, and that's it, peeps. I hope you think about this, and I hope this changes in the future going forward, because it's kind of scary. And also, just wanted to be fair. But for me, I like if I'm in a bar finding a hoe, but I'm trying to bar find a real hoe. I'm trying to bar find a slut. But alternatively, I think also that, like, massage parlors are a bit more better for me personally, because I feel that there usually it's at the discretion of the lady if she wants to actually engage in sexual activity with you, because she generally offers, or maybe you can ask for a happy ending, but it's very rare that, like, you get like sex, for example. You might get sex in some of them, but I think it's more reasonable. They're not drunk, they're sober. It's more straightforward, it's more relaxing. Personally, I would prefer to be able to take the massage thingy away, but it's kind of difficult because it's not really a bar. But that might be the better option for people if they want, like, some of them are professionals, real professionals. Like, you can go to these new types of massage places. It's like proper professional. These are professional women that do their gig with intent. So that might be better. Like, for me, I've always had better experiences that way. I've never bar found a lady in my life. So yeah, in my life so far anyway. Who knows about the future? But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I just wanted to sum up, because I really had to think about this, it's something I really wanted, but I couldn't get because maybe it was like touching fire. And even though the situation, the environment was developed and geared towards it, I still didn't feel uncomfortable, because I knew that in the court of law, it's nearly impossible to win or be understood as a man.